In this tutorial, we'll see what is handlers in Ansible and how to use that in Playbook. Handlers tasks are triggered by other tasks only when there is a change is reported in the task. For example, if you want to run a particular task only when there is a change, we can use handlers. We need to use notify keyword to trigger the handlers. You need to give notify and the handler task name. And that name should be unique for each handler task. That we'll see when we write the playbook. And this will be useful for the actions that should be performed only when there is a change. Here in this example, we'll be running a handler task if we have some changes in the iOS L3 interfaces configuration. We will try to take a configuration backup and save the config. Another example is if you are making some changes in the Apache config file, for the configuration to take effect, you have to restart the service. At that time also you can use handlers. Those are some examples of handlers use cases. Now let us start writing the playbook. I'll go to VS Code. Here I have already added two tasks here. So this is trying to configure IP address in iOS L3 interfaces, and then we are printing it. So we're going to run this against R2. This particular module I have already explained in the iOS resource module, iOS L3 interfaces module. I have just copied and pasted from here. Before that, let us verify the R2 interface configuration. Currently, we don't have any configuration for this particular interface. First, we'll try running without handlers, Ansible playbook, and directory is 18 and file name is 01. Now you can see here the status is changed and Ansible has executed this particular command in the device. Now we have IP configured here. Now let us try introducing handlers. Handlers should be in the task level. I'll give handlers. Under that, same like how we define the other task, we need to give name, and I'll call this save config, and here we'll use Ansible dot built-in dot. This I have already explained in the iOS config module. So here, if you want to see the configuration save option, we can see here. We can give save when changed or always. If you give always, it will always try to save the configuration. And if you want to take the configuration backup, we can use it in this way. So here I can change the module name to cisco.ios. Here I'll give backup true, then backup options. And if you see this logic here, we were giving a directory for storing the backup. In this example, we'll try to store it in this directory. So I'll copy this path. I'll give dir underscore path, paste it, and we'll put it in the backup directory. We can even delete this directory, it will automatically create. This will be even adding the date and time in the file name. Either we can give a custom file name, or if you leave it empty, it will just create with the host name and date and time. And now we'll save the configuration. Save when, and I'll give always. Now if you want to trigger this, we can put a notify here, notify, and we need to give this exact name, and this name should be unique. And if you have multiple handlers with same name, it will be taking the first name. We will see that as well. I'll save it. Now if you try running this, now we will not be having any changes. So first let us try running without any changes. Here we are saving the configuration, then taking the configuration backup. I'll try running the playbook. Now there is no changes in the configuration. Here I'll change the IP to 1, save it. And if there is no change, it won't be triggering the handlers. Now there is a change. We can see the status here, running handler. This is trying to save the configuration. Even this has created a backup directory, and here we can see with inventory host name, with date and time, this has saved the backup. But next time if you run it, since there is no change in the config, this won't be saving the configuration. Now let us add one more task here. I'll add another task, print command, and I'll copy this. We will try to print only the commands. Dot commands. Here in the changed case, we can see we are getting a key called commands. We'll try to print that data here, and I'll copy this handler name. We'll put it here. So let us try running it. Now this is not triggering because there is no change. I'll change this to 2. Let us run again. Now this is printing the command and then saving the configuration. But if you see this order, we have save and print, but this is running print and save. The reason for that is this will be always running based on the order what we define here. And if you try to change the order here, I'll change the IP. Now this will first run save and then print. And if you notice another behavior here, after this notify, we have one more task, print output. Here, after executing all the tasks, even after executing print output, it is going to handlers and running it one time, all the tasks. Now we'll say how to group multiple tasks using single name. Here I'll give an option called listen, and I'll call this IP change post action. You can give any name here. Copy this. So now this will be listening for this particular notify, and here I'll delete this and change to this. Now we have grouped these two handlers. So let us run it again. Before that, I need to change the IP. Now here first it is running save config, then it is running print command. Here we are calling only one name, IP change post action, and is listening for that. Now imagine we have same name here. Now this will be running only the first task. So all these handlers tasks should have unique name, else this will be triggering only the first match. I'll change the IP. And if you notice here, this is trying to save the config. That is why the changed status is true. Now here also we'll try giving same name. Now also this will try to run the first task. In this way you can use handlers in Ansible.